Hello and welcome back to Chasing the Target. It's semi-finals time, baby. One day before the Pakistan and New Zealand game. I have with me Mr. Vinay Hariharan. Can you hear me, sir?
It's but if you're feeling this, but it's not for me.
Yeah, even your voice is a bit thing. Maybe should I? Let's see. Let's talk for a bit, and then maybe one of us can go and come back. Can you hear me now?
No, I can hear like a couple of words are mixed up and
Same thing. Same thing.
okay.
Same thing.
He
Let me
just
let.
come back.
Yeah.
Give
All right. Sounds good. So yeah, it is Pakistan versus New Zealand tomorrow. It's going to be a cracker of a game in Sydney. Both teams will be prepared. Pakistan, honestly, no one thought they'd make it to the semifinals. They themselves were probably shocked when Netherlands beat South Africa, but they're there now. And Pakistan is a team that you do want to be careful of. When they're in this position, they can beat anyone. They have the bowling. Now you can clearly see they have a middle order as well. They have some aggressive batsmen there. Babar and Rizwan, yes, they're not in form, but it'll just take one innings for them to get back into form, and they're hoping that will be in the semifinals. They did win a tri-series against New Zealand and New Zealand, so that is something which will give them confidence going into this match. I'm just adding Vinay back. Vinay, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, sir. So yeah, that's what I was. First of all, how are you doing, man? Thank you so much for joining me.
I'm doing
Uh,
good, man. Just came back from office to be on the podcast. So
I can't believe it. I'm honored for you to be here. But yeah, I was just telling the audience that New Zealand versus Pakistan. Pakistan, no one thought they will make it in the semifinals. I don't think they themselves will probably knew that they're going to make it to the semifinals because it required like a miracle, and that's exactly what happened. Netherlands beat South Africa. But when Pakistan are in this situation, it's a team that you don't want to play because the corner tiger thing. It's been there. We've seen it in '92. I mean, I haven't seen it, but it's there in '92. We saw it in 2009, and then we saw it in 2017 in the Champions Trophy as well. And they do have a good quality bowling lineup. I think it's one of probably the best lineup on paper right now, because South Africa is not there, and they're coming up against a side in New Zealand who they beat in that tri series. So yeah, your initial thoughts going into the semi-finals tomorrow.
it's going to be an interesting game, to be honest. Pakistan has the momentum.
Yes.
They're going into the semifinals with. New Zealand, on the other hand, have had a little bit of a roller coaster in terms of a group stage, and was
Actually,
must
New
win.
Zealand has been smoother than Pakistan. Pakistan have had the roller coaster.
No, Pakistan, yes, definitely full roller coaster for them. That was like a double roller coaster or something for them. But it was probably Ferrari World versus Canada's Wonderland. That's what
Yeah.
I can refer to. But I think even New Zealand didn't have it easy. They
Mhm.
lost the game. They lost one game and then they had to come back, and it was still the last game that no one figured out exactly who's going to qualify and stuff. So I think everything was required from them to go in. They have a lot of positives. Kane Williamson back in form, and then Glenn Phillips just outscoring every single game and stuff. So they do have some positives. It's just going to be an interesting game in terms of, I think, Pakistan does have the momentum at this point coming into the playoffs, but you can never write off this New Zealand team, and they are, like I call them, the silent killers,
Yeah.
the silent assassins. They just keep silent, do their work, and then leave. So it's going to be an interesting game. So let's see what goes on.
It's a repeat of '92. It's very similar to what happened in '92. Over there, New Zealand topped their group. Pakistan just made it, and they needed rain. They needed a few things to go their way. And now again, it's 2022. You have a similar situation in that sense. You have one team who have been playing good cricket. I felt that yes, New Zealand were in a tougher group as well. So yeah, they did lose to England, which is a really good team, but they were in a tougher group overall. The way they beat Australia, I think that will
Yeah.
give them massive confidence. And if you look at Pakistan again, Pakistan this time, the only thing I would say is that in that Champions Trophy they had to beat Sri Lanka that game. Yes, it was a very close game, but they won that. That gave them more momentum. Here they had to beat Bangladesh, but it was more they were dependent on Netherlands. It wasn't in their hands. Even if
Yeah.
they beat Bangladesh, they would have been out. So there was more things that had to go their way. And I think in this game, I don't know what you feel, bro. I think if New Zealand don't make a mistake in terms of drop catches and no balls, and they keep their extra stride, I think they will have the front foot in this game. They will have the advantage in this game, because if you notice, even in the South Africa Pakistan game, South Africa dropped 4 or 5 catches. You can't afford that against Pakistan. You give them chances, and then they'll come at you. So if New Zealand field, I think fielding is where they are superior. Apart from that, batting and bowling, it could go either way. But fielding is when New Zealand's superior. If they don't give Pakistan a chance, then New Zealand will have the edge in this game for sure.
The only thing is, toss could be crucial, to be honest. The reason
Yes.
being, New Zealand hasn't been chasing in this tournament a lot.
Hmm.
They've been playing mostly like the first innings, and when they chased, they actually lost.
Yes.
So that could be a factor.
Hmm.
Could be one of the factors
And
because,
in Sydney, we've seen batting first has been an advantage for sure.
yeah, batting first has been an advantage. So if Pakistan bats first, New Zealand chasing, then it could be a different scenario, right? And Pakistan has the bowling, right? It's mostly Pakistan bowlers versus New Zealand batsmen. That's the
Pakistan.
contest.
Yeah, that's the contest. And if you look at this in Sydney, you mentioned toss will be important. Whoever bats first will have that edge. They'll put pressure, especially Shadab will come into play. But one thing is that the strip that they're going to play on is this. It's the same strip as the Australia New Zealand game, and I don't think they played on that strip since then. So, and that was one of the best pitches in terms of batting. Again, in the first innings, then Australia did collapse. I think we might see plenty of runs again tomorrow. We'll have to wait and
Yep.
see. You also have to
It's
take
going to
into
be a
account.
fresh pitch, is what I heard. It's going to be a fresh pitch. It's been, even though it's been used before, it's going to be a brand new. It hasn't been played on for a long time on that pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
So
this will be the game clear on that pitch. But again, I think they'll decide that later on. I don't know if it's already decided if they're going to play on that pitch. But from the reports that I read, it's going to be that one time where they played the New Zealand and Australia.
yeah,
Also, another thing is weather. Right now, there's going to be a bit of rain in the morning, but apart from that, Australia has become hotter now. You can see in the games as well, in a lot of videos, people who are reporting from there. The sun is out. People who were wearing jackets in Adelaide and Sydney a week before, now they're roaming around in t-shirts. That could also affect the pitch that way. There could be some dryness there, and more importantly, I think it might even suit the Asian teams, because that's the weather they like to play in, and also there will be some cracks in the pitch. Maybe like you said, it's a fresh pitch, but maybe is there something that can go in Pakistan's favor?
yeah. And another worrisome point for Pakistan, if it's a spinning track, like we have seen some spinning tracks and stuff, and New Zealand have better spinners in that regard, because I know Shadab Khan is there, but the second spinner is what
You prefer
Pakistan is
Sandner
kind of.
over to Nawaz?
Yes, I would prefer Santner or Nawaz, and then Sodi again, a wrist spinner. I think the combination and the kind of uh, the um, the thing that they bring for the team itself, I think it's much better combo than what Shadab Khan and Pakistan haven't shown some uh, consistency in picking Nawaz for bowling, especially after that India innings. So it'll be an important factor. I don't know if Chachu's going to bowl as well. So we have to see how that kind of pays out for them.
Yeah, and there's going to be a bit slightly different approaches, but both teams do have similar players. Like, Babar and Rizwan are going to anchor, whereas New Zealand will have one anchor, one hitter in the beginning, but then they have Williamson who will anchor. Then Pakistan, after the two openers, they have two attacking batsmen. No, they have an attacking batsman in Haris. Mohammad Haris, and then they have another anchor in Shan Masood. So there's going to be anchors and hitters playing along each other in this game for both sides. So how would you see the approach? Do you think New Zealand have the edge just because Finn Allen is someone who can really take the game away from you, whereas Pakistan, Baba and Rizwan will be more conservative?
It depends on if there is swing at the start. Because if there is swing, then it's going to be tough for Finn Allen because he hasn't played that much swing.
Mhm.
He's probably played in a little more flatter tracks. He hasn't
Yeah.
played like bowling that is swinging a lot and stuff. I know England had the swing when he was playing, but again, that the pace and the swing that both Shaheen and Naseem actually bring in to the picture, I think he might not have played. So it might not be easy for him at the start. But if it's a flatter track, yes, I think he'll be much more effective in terms of um, going with the hitting approach that he does. typically
If I
in the
flip
top of the order.
if I flip the question, because if it's swinging conditions, then Bolt and Sadi will be in play as well. But if it's a flatter
Yes.
track, will Babar and Rizwan's approach change? Will one go for it? Will someone like a Rizwan be more attractive?
They should, but even if it's flatter track or anything, we've seen the kind of template that they play. They are not usually the attacking people, and that's something they need to change themselves. They need to realize themselves. They've been talking about it enough in the media, but I don't see any. It's just words. I don't see any actions. So that's what they probably need to do. It's like every single press conference that Pakistan has. Whenever Babar is speaking, he always speaks about it. But every time the match happens, he's not doing anything about it. So I think they need to realize that fact. They need to look into it. They need to actually, if you want to play a certain template, it's up to you. But then don't say in the media again then that we are trying to improve. We are trying to improve, but you keep on doing the same thing. Then that's not fair, right? So that's my only complaint about it. But if it happens where they play a little aggressively, I think it'll be much better score and something that New Zealand might find it difficult.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think now they will also have that confidence, which they didn't have at the start of the tournament, that they do have a middle order. That was,
Yes.
they kept saying that middle order collapse, ho jayegi, collapse, ho jayegi,
I
and it
think it
was
was
collapse.
more of the media hype that it looked like there was no middle order. I
Yeah,
understand that most of the
yeah,
runs were coming from the top order, not from
yeah.
the middle order, but it was never the case that middle order didn't click or anything. They didn't
Yeah,
get the
yeah, because
chance.
there were
Yeah.
instances against India in the Asia Cup. Nawaz came and hit and everything. There were instances, but then there were a lot of collapses, like the Asia Cup final. I think that's where
Yes.
it amplified this middle order thing. But now they will have that confidence कि भाई हम out भी हो गए तो पीछे है संभालने के लिए. They have batting. Shadab and Nawaz are very effective batsmen. We've already seen that in the recent past, so they will have that confidence for sure.
To be
Um,
honest, at this point, I think all the Pakistanis are probably praying that Rizwan or Babar should get out sooner so that better people, better batsmen can come in and hit the
yeah.
ball.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it, I say that if one of them even stays for a bit, right, and takes the shine out of the ball, now I have that thinking like they have the resources to accelerate and catch up to any run rate. So I'm
Yeah.
not too worried about it, but I know where you're coming from. 10-15 over खेल लिया at a run rate of 6, then it'll put more pressure. Then it's very difficult to.
Exactly. That's what
You
I
don't want to get
spoke
into
about
that
before too. Like
especially when you're chasing. You don't want to get into that position.
exactly 90 runs of like 12, 13 overs, and
Yeah,
then in the last 7 hours you're expecting like 70, 80 runs. That's
point
not
pressure.
always possible. It's not
Yeah.
always possible. It might happen. You never know, but it's not always possible, and that's the worrying part for Pakistan.
100%. Vinay, let's go to the predictions in terms of fantasy picks. Let's help our viewers, and that's so it's time for tips and chips. One player each or two players each?
Let's do two players each.
Yeah, so then your chances get better to get right, huh? I want to do one player each so that we eliminate that factor and play a thing. Okay, fine, let's do two players each because we don't have a third person with us today. So give me two players from each team and give me your reasons, bruv.
So for this game, I'm gonna go my favorite bowler, Mr. Lockie Ferguson,
Ferguson, yeah.
right? And I'm gonna go Devon Conway.
Devon Conway, okay. You're expecting him to anchor the innings and get some
It's
runs.
not
Okay.
about anchor. I think he is come off good. He's someone who is matured as a player. He's someone who has been kind of underrated in terms of how he plays and stuff. But
Indeed.
he's been a solid bat up the order for New Zealand in the last couple of months, even the last year. He's been a solid bat over there. So I'm hoping he's going to be coming off and reaping those fruits.
You're reaping the fruits. And okay, what about from Pakistan, your two fantasy picks, buddy?
My two fantasy picks. Who do you think it'll be?
You're going to go either Chachu or Mohammad Aris as the batsman, and then you're going to go with the ball, you'll probably Shadab. I'll be surprised if you don't go Shadab.
So you're right in one, which is Shadab. The
Yeah.
other one, I'm gonna go Rizwan.
You go Mohammed Rizwan. Do you expect him to anchor the innings?
I expect him to come up good,
We're gonna
and
go
that
with
is his natural game to anchor the innings. So
yeah.
I expect him to come up good
You don't like the word
and
anchor, huh?
actually play some interesting cricket. Like he's been struggling badly, and there's been criticism going on about him and stuff. So I feel that he'll be good on at least this game.
Yeah, me, I'm gonna go Pakistan. I'm gonna go with again. It's between those two that I mentioned earlier.
Chachu and Shadab.
Yeah, no, not Chachu and Shada. I'm gonna go with either Mohammad Aris or Chachu. Let's go with Chachu. I think Mohammad Aris again is a very good pick. I feel that he will hit runs tomorrow. But Chachu, I just feel he has that extra confidence. He's been playing the whole tournament, and that those three sixes he hit Axar Patel. I think someone like a Santner he can attack. Like it's not going to be easy. Santner is a much smarter bowler, but I think he can do something. So let's go Chachu as the batsman. As a bowler, I'm going to go with Shaheen Shah Afridi. I feel that he's getting back into his rhythm. He picked up 4 wickets in the last game. Yes, it was against Bangladesh, but Shaheen is getting into his rhythm. Again, he's not fully fit, I feel, but he can be lethal. His first 2 overs will be crucial. I think that will dictate the game, how New Zealand will approach. If Shaheen gets hit for a few runs, New Zealand will have the upper hand and it will put pressure on Shadab and everything. If you notice that in every game that Pakistan do well, those 2 Shaheen overs, his economy is like 2-3 runs, then it allows the spinners to bowl to you. It allows Haris Rauf to come, one change and put pressure. But if Shaheen gets hit, then it can cause some issues. Like against Zimbabwe, Shaheen did get hit and it put pressure on the bowlers. Yes, they pulled it back, but I think those Shaheen overs in a knockout game will be very crucial. So I'm expecting him to get some wickets early on, maybe the wicket of Finn Allen. And yeah, let's see what happens in that manner. But these are my 2 picks from Pakistan. From New Zealand, I'm gonna go. Yes, sorry, you wanted to comment?
No, just an interesting fact that I read somewhere. It was Sattler has bowled only 7 deliveries this World Cup to a left-hander,
There you go. There you
and
go.
you have Shan Masood and Nawaz in
They
as
might even
left-handers.
send. Yeah, actually, Shan Masood's there, but I was thinking they might send Nawaz up, but yeah,
Yeah,
Shan Masood will be there
I
for 5.
think they might gamble on bringing Nawaz up one down again, and then putting Haris at two down, and then Mr. Shan Masood at three, and then Chachu at four. They might
Chacho.
do that.
Yeah,
It
because
could be
that's also to counter Sodhi as well, because he's also going to turn the ball away from the right hander.
in that regard. On the opposite side, Williamson and Darren Mitchell have struggled against leg spinner badly this World Cup.
Yeah, they've
So
struggled.
you have Shadab there. So those are just interesting matchups that I thought I should probably mention. But it's going to be like Bracewell is sitting in the team, but I don't think they're going to bring him for such an important game all of a sudden. But you never know with all the things that are happening. Oh, Mr. Owner is here. Musti, uh, take off
Salam
that
Saab.
smile. Take off
Salam
that
Saab.
smile. Only serious things from going forward.
Salam Saab. Salam Saab. कैसे हैं आप?
Hello, hello.
Uh,
Only
but yeah,
only
I
serious
was.
things today.
How are you doing, Mr. Donald?
I'm going very well, very well.
You're
Excited
going
about
very
the
well. Very
semifinals.
good. But yeah, okay. No, I was just saying before you came in, we are doing our fantasy picks. So I did my Pakistan picks. I picked Chachu and I picked Mr. Shaheen Shafridi. Vinay picked Shadab and he picked Rizwan. And from New Zealand, he picked Lockie Ferguson and Conway. From New Zealand, I'm gonna go a bit traditional. I feel no, actually not traditional. Let's go. I'm gonna go Isodi, and then with the bat, I was thinking between Phillips and Williamson, but it's a big game, so let's go Kane Williamson. Don, you're first of all, before I go to your fantasy picks, actually, you want to go fantasy picks first and then discuss the game. Let's go to your fantasy picks.
I'm gonna go with Kane Williamson and Kane Williamson only. I think that 61 of 35 is now gonna change things around for him. It took a
Yep.
while; he was out of form and everything. So I think that it is time for the big man to step up in a big game. And no better stage than a semi-final of a World Cup. To Pakistan has been talking a lot about being in the finals. They still have one step to go, and if they go out in this step, it'll just be funny. So yeah, I think I think I'm going to go with Kane Williamson. The experience and and the and grit and the kind of confidence that he's probably gotten from the last game will certainly add up over here, and I'm going to go with the big man to perform for the big game.
So you're only going one player.
Bro, we already picked half the team amongst the five of us,
That's
three of us.
because
So
freaking Vinay, I told him we'll do 1-1. He did too because he wants to be right.
Did you tell me that Don is coming?
Don is
I
Don
was
can come whenever he wants.
surprise entrance.
Nobody
Surprise
knows when Don is
entrance.
coming. Yeah.
Don is Mr. John Cena.
Yeah.
You
John
So
can
Cena.
see me.
I will remove a couple of players from Vinay's thing. So he can't pick Conway, and he has to take out. I'll
I'll
keep
take
this
Conway.
one.
I'll take
Huh?
Conway. I'll take Conway. I'll leave out Lucky, and then in
That's it.
Pakistan,
That's it.
I'll go.
Only one. Only one. Give
Yeah,
me
yeah.
two players.
I'm taking Conway
Okay.
He's
Conway
removing
and
from New
Loki.
Zealand,
yeah.
and from Pakistan, I'm gonna take Rizwan.
Whoa. I'm gonna go Ish Sodhi and Mr. Iftikhar Ahmed. No. I'm gonna go Ish Sodhi and what's his name, bro?
Shadab.
Shaheen
Shadab.
Shafri. Shaheen
Shaheen.
Shafri. Shaheen Shafri. I'm
You're
confused
showing leg
already.
spin and
Now
saying
you
Shaheen
Shaheen.
Shafri.
I'm gonna say
Shaheen. Shaheen Shafri. This thing. I'm thinking
I
Shadab.
confuse you now. You won't know who I picked. But yeah, Don, we
No,
were
no.
discussing our
If
game. Discuss kar rahe the. You made a very good point, which I agree because look, for me, when Pakistan have momentum, what I've seen in the past, they go all the way, right, and they go to the finals. They even win the finals. This is what I've seen in 2017. I saw in 2009. They do get a bit of luck. But here the luck was a bit different. Luck didn't depend on them. It depended on another team. They were too dependent, I felt, on Netherlands. And they're coming up against a New Zealand team who've already lost a game. So it's not like they already know what it feels to lose,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they won't be worried about that. And they try to look to improve, like you said. They have their captain back in form, and they also have a good bowling attack, which goes kind of under the radar. So do you think it's going to be as simple for Pakistan because everybody has them on foot in the finals just because of momentum, which is a big thing? I'm not denying that, but your thoughts?
I think we underestimate New Zealand from 1999. So we've been underestimating New Zealand. Okay, every
Yeah.
time they've come up in the ICC event, they've always overperformed. Okay, no one gave them a chance. Everyone thought England and Australia is going to win, including me, right? Including me. I said New Zealand is not coming into
Hmm.
this tournament as form, but they
Yes.
came out and they topped the group, right? So
Yes.
I think that you underestimate New Zealand at your own peril. I think
Mhm.
that Pakistan, even though with the momentum, I think that there are flaws in that side. I think the batting combination up top, the Babar and Rizwan batting combination up top that was working fantastically well for 2 years is now seriously struggling. It is good that Chachu has been providing some runs in the middle, and someone like a Haris has come in as a breath of fresh air for them. But
Hmm.
a big game scene, it's going to be difficult. I think if you can get 2 or 3 quick wickets early on in the tournament, and someone like a Bolt and a Sadi, you don't underestimate them as well. They are good fast bowling picks that don't get talked about a lot at all. So I'm going with New Zealand to win this game. Honestly, I'm
Hmm.
going with them to surprise everyone as usual and go on and win this game.
But New Zealand do have that losing in a semi-final, final type of thing.
Yeah.
But we did see last year they did win the semi-finals. They reached the finals and they lost in the finals. But I think surely Williamson and this team have learned from those past experiences, playing in knockout games, pressure, and surely that will give them some confidence going into that.
Winning that test championship must have made them really happy. I think they've gone past that curse of not being able to go through into the finals. So they've struggled to win tournaments in the past. But I think definitely, I think New Zealand, they've put that kind of curse out by winning the test championship. They have won an ICC tournament now, so I think that'll help them just calm their nerves. I think the problem with South Africa was every time they're in a situation where they need to win, they lose, and that happened again with Netherlands. But I think it's a similar situation here. I just feel like New Zealand has broken that curse, which has been going on for a while. They've been coming to semifinals and finals and losing a lot. They haven't won an ICC tournament, so I think that this winning the Test championship might just give them that little extra impetus. And it's good that they are not being talked about. Everyone's talking about Pakistan's momentum. Everyone's talking about Pakistan already in the finals. Everyone's talking about an India Pakistan finals. It's just going to be ironic if a New Zealand England finals happen. It's going to just be
Which is
funny.
for me,
So
that is the most realistic. If I just look at it from on paper, I mentioned this yesterday as well, that I feel that if you just look at matchups and just player for player, I feel New Zealand England deserve to be the final in that way, like strength wise, the but bro, momentum is a huge thing.
yeah,
Packed
yeah.
SCG crowd, packed Adelaide crowd. You're playing in Virat Kohli's backyard. Pakistan are playing in Sydney. It's going to be green tomorrow. The 92, what do you call it? Courts will be coming out. Corner Tigers. There's rumors that will Babar wear the Corner Tigers shirt to the toss. There's all this thing, and it does impact. It can boost
Absolutely.
Pakistan. Shine gets a wicket and everything changes. So that is something I do believe in. But if I just look at the matchups, player for player, England and New Zealand are two teams that
ये
I feel that
कुदरत का निजाम
yeah,
भूलना
कुदरत का
मत.
निजाम है कभी शाम कभी सुबह yeah.
Bro,
Mushtaq.
similarly, all that momentum comes, and second ball of the game, Babar Azam's out to Trent Bolt. It automatically will die. That that
Yeah,
No,
that
but
no,
whole
no.
that whole
Pakistan
thing will
actually
fall.
want that. But Pakistan actually want that.
Fair enough.
मगर ये है Don, Punter saying currently which team is deserving to win the cup? I don't think there's any team deserving. Like it just depends on who plays cricket because
I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that. I
because
think
it's Punter.
the deserving is
Say
deserving.
why you're answering it. First, why you're answering it? Because Punter, you have a special bond. Say that.
Not because of just that, but because you're gonna take the political view, and I'm gonna be talking about why India deserves to win. It's all because of Virat Kohli. It's his legacy. It's something that probably is going to be like a farewell thing for him, and it's gonna remind India of the 2011 World Cup, how they did it for Sachin. They're probably gonna do this for Virat Kohli. So that's why I
Bro,
think
this is
India deserves to win.
the most biased comment I've heard in such a long time. I can flip that and say, oh, we have to do it. Pakistan have to do it for Imran Khan. He won in 92. Just now, he went through a tough incident and, they have to win it for him. वो भी बोल सकते हैं, "मैंने क्या यार तुम?"
I
मैंने
would
यार
I would like to change a small statement, a small piece of what Vinay said. I just want to say that they are not doing it for Virat Kohli, because Virat Kohli, I'm hoping, plays the 24-25 World Cup. They're doing it for one person. That person is Rohit Sharma, because I don't see him play the 24-25 World Cup. So for punter and for Vinay, they're doing it for Rohit Sharma.
Rohit Sharma. Look,
No. If you're talking about Rohit Sharma, you have to talk about Ashish. You can't talk about Pandit.
Ashish for Ashish.
Vinay saying why he thinks India is deserving, which is fair enough, but that doesn't mean they're deserving. I think all four teams.
They deserve it, man. It is for Virat Kohli. This World Cup is meant for Virat Kohli. He's back in form. He's in crazy form.
Bro, I've
He
seen Virat
he
Kohli
is he is
have
trying
some
to sign off on
sensational.
a high note. He's trying to sign off on a high note, and this is that high note that he's gonna get.
This is not his last World Cup. Maybe it's his last T20 World Cup. But
I'm
there's one
talking
thing
about
that Virat
T20
Kohli has.
only. I'm
Okay,
talking about T20 only.
Virat Kohli has never played a T20, has never won a T20 World Cup, so it could be.
Exactly.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Vinay is talking from his heart right now. He's not talking from his brain because.
Virat Kohli hasn't played a T20 final as well.
Okay, Vinay.
He's played a semi-final,
Yeah,
not a final.
Rohit Sharma has played, huh?
Yes,
Rohit Sharma has won the World Cup
one.
once,
He's won a
2007.
World Cup. So it's not for Rohit Sharma, it's for Virat Kohli.
Virat Kohli. Acha. So yeah, Don, do you want to answer that question? Which team is deserving to win the World Cup, or do you have a similar answer to me?
We just answered, man. What was this whole segment about? What are you talking about?
He's joking, bro. I don't
We
think
just
Don is.
answered about it, and you're like again asking the same question.
I honestly, I somewhat agree with Musti. I think it's a little hard to predict, because I think both teams have, all the
Not
four teams have
predict. He's
gone
saying
through.
who's deserving. He's saying.
Yeah, but I think all four teams have gone through some ups and downs. So it's
Yeah.
not fair to say that
You guys are
team
too
is
political.
deserving. I think England losing to Ireland, although they shouldn't have lost that game, and Pakistan having Zimbabwe kind of loss, India lost to South Africa, New Zealand lost to Australia. So there have been kind of ups and downs in this. In no, so New Zealand lost to England. Sorry. So there have been sort of ups and downs in this tournament, and that's why this tournament is so special, because no one has really gone out there like Pakistan in the last T20 World Cup, where they won all the games in the finals and lost, semi-finals and lost, right? So I honestly think it's hard to predict. If I'm going to go with my heart, then I'm going to go India. Obviously, I kind of second winner's sentiments over there, but it's very hard to predict who will win. But if I have to pick, I would say on current form and on current kind of just on paper, if I look at all four teams, I want to say England has a good chance.
So yes,
Don,
but
are
Of the
you? Do you
you didn't
support
answer.
Democratic? Sorry,
You didn't.
Don. Do you support Democratic?
You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
answer the
Democrats
question,
or
Don.
Republicans.
You
If I had
didn't.
to choose, if I had to choose England,
Don, you're not answering the question.
if I had to choose England,
That's not prediction. He's not asking for prediction. He's saying who's deserving to win the cup. He's asking a very complicated question, which I don't think it can be answered. But yeah,
deserving, तो all four are deserving. They've all four
यही
reached
बस खत्म आंसर खत्म यही तो पूछ रहा था मैं and I
See,
this
democratic,
is not
democratic
emotional.
person, and this guy, because he's a channel owner, he has to be
No,
political.
listen. I can tell you like who I think will
Honestly, you also want India to win,
I
so they
want
only
India to
deserve
win.
to win.
where. That's not the question though. The question is not who I want to win.
Doesn't matter the question. You
अच्छा
give
अच्छा
your
लड़ लो
answer.
लड़ लो
You
लड़
give
लो
your
नको
answer.
लड़ लो
कल
We
नको
मेरे को
ब्रदर.
प्रिडिक्शन पूछे मैं क्या बोला मालूम कल मेरे को प्रिडिक्शन पूछे मैं क्या बोला मैं बोला न्यूजीलैंड इंग्लैंड फाइनल खेल रही मेरे हिसाब से आई कैन बी रॉन्ग बट दैट्स माय इफ आई एम लुकिंग एट ऑल द एनालिसिस ऑल द मैचअप्स
wait,
एंड एवरीथिंग
Don.
माय
Who do you
प्रिडिक्शन
think is gonna be in the finals?
Who
न्यूजीलैंड
do
एंड
I
इंग्लैंड दैट्स
think
व्हाट आई एम सेइंग
I also honestly think it'd be really ironic for New Zealand England to finish. So I think I'm just gonna go with that kind of uh,
Yes,
against
this is what I
predictive
wanted. This is
against
what
Brothers,
predictive
exactly I
belief.
wanted.
brothers, this is what you wanted. You wanted Ran in the chat, baby. Look, I
No,
made
no,
sure.
no. I wanted Don to predict New Zealand England because whenever he predicts, it's always wrong. So it's going to be India Pakistan final.
Okay, let's
I did
quickly
it for
move
you,
on to
Vinay.
our. Let's quickly move on to the next segment. I think we wasted too much time on that question, but thank you, Punter, for asking that. We really appreciate it.
I wonder
This
I wonder if Punter can answer that question. What according to him is deserving.
Punter in his head is thinking, "अरे यार, Netherlands जीत के कैसा आ गए इन लोग सेमीफाइनल में?" That's what he's thinking right now.
Even
He
I'm
is
still
really
thinking about
fearing
that.
Pakistan. He is really worried about Pakistan.
Netherlands is deserving to win the World Cup.
they
Yeah,
they
okay. He's
they
saying
deserve
look
to win
कैसे
the
आ
World
गए सेमीफाइनल आशीष and Pandra are both probably thinking Pakistan कहाँ से आ गई like from nowhere but let's
Ashish is
move on to the oh no I messed up we're going on to the next segment is Captain's Corner guys really sorry about that mistake Don boss
You got too carried away with the question from Punter.
yeah uh, Don captaincy put on your captain's cap.
yes.
Yeah,
Ask me the questions.
yes. You're Kane Williamson.
Okay.
All right. You've gotten you have Trent Bolt and Sadi. You give them the new ball. You have Rizwan and Babar there. What type of field are you setting, and what is your game plan against them?
Go orthodox, bro. I'm gonna go all the way. I'm gonna go two slips gully. I'm gonna go point. I'm gonna keep it back offside. I'm gonna have them kind of try to bring the ball in as much as they can because we've seen Babar kind of susceptible. We've seen Rizwan in this innings in this tournament as well. Chopping on a couple of times. They are struggling when that new ball is swinging around a little bit. Both the play, both Bolt and Sadi are definitely Uh, good swing bowlers. They can bring the ball back into both the right hand batsmen. Both of them are under pressure. Come in there, packed offside field, give them that fourth stump line, have them make play those shots. Either they can edge one to slip or chop one back in or something like that. And that's kind of literally what I would go for. Go with the if the pitch is assisting, just go with that. If there is and I personally think Sydney is going to be a green pitch. They're going to use a fresh pitch, I'm told. So it's going to be conducive to some fast bowling. So it's going to be fun to watch that. And I would bat first. Honestly, in this kind of we've seen batting first has improved, has been a kind of like the pressure situation has gotten to a lot of teams recently. We've seen that time and again in the World Cup. So irrespective of toss, I think it'll be a fun encounter. But yeah, definitely packed offside field. Go with all the orthodox setups and just have your experienced fast bowlers do the magic for you.
And
Are we
Ran,
talking about the test match that's going to happen between Pakistan and New Zealand? Because that's the
That is
kind of field you're
eventually.
setting up.
Bro,
yeah,
I'm just saying, first 2 3 overs, just go crazy. Go two slips, go gully, go point. Just go crazy and have more catching options. Keep on player in front of him. Like get your mid off and mid on up. Don't try to like act funny with square leg and all
let
that.
them take the
Keep
risk. Yeah.
third, yeah. Keep third man and five
And
leg as your back fielders in case there's an edge or whatever. And go and let them try to hit you on up. Maybe they hit and then you get caught on mid on or mid off as well. So I'm asking them to take the risk. Go with two slips,
I
gully, point, everything.
I do agree with Don on this point because both Babar and Rizwan have struggled on the shorter ball, outside offs, trying to hit towards point or backward point, and they've been getting caught there. So that's something that New Zealand might exploit at the start, and maybe it might work in their favors.
Yeah, I really like Ryan's option over there. Jose. Two short mid wickets because we've seen them. If the ball comes back in, they try to flick it, and those flicks can really get into mid wicket for catching positions as well. Have at least one guy at short mid wicket kind of in that catching position where they can actually really do some damage. I think I would go extreme like test match kind of pitch at least for 2 overs. Give each of them one over until the ball is swinging around a little bit. If they can get a wicket or two, then they put pressure on Pakistan. Then they can go back to the T20 kind of thinking in terms of a field set.
I do
Yes.
have some interesting facts, which maybe we can do later on or something. But Sydney has been a pitch where 6 matches have been played. 5 matches have been won by team batting first, and 1 match has been lost by team batting
या
first.
मैं क्रिटिसाइज कर रहा था परसों क्रिकेट फो देख रहा मैं भी वही पढ़ा भैया आर्टिकल विनय विनय ओवर स्मार्ट गॉट caught there. It's fine to read cricket.info but he was criticizing someone the other day for reading
Bro,
cricket.info.
also, I think I'm divulging a topic a little bit over here, but India and England is going to be played on a used pitch.
Used, baby. Yeah,
So
so we will talk a bit of that, but then tomorrow we'll dedicate it to that. We will talk a bit of it in Fresh of the Press. There's a small thing that I wanted to address. Abu Bakr Singh, what are the dirty messages in the chat, bro? We enjoy it, man. Just enjoy it, man. You're a young bachelor, bro. Abu Bakr, man, don't restrict yourself. Ryan is laughing. As in Mustafa, I click the link, and I'm going to wake up at 3 a.m. to watch the semis. Yeah, man, I think it's going to be worth it. I've
Abu
done that.
Abu Bakr, please give me a call also.
Yeah, I've been there, done that, and Don has also been there, done that. Done those late nights. Vinay has also been there, done that. But
Yes,
Why,
he
why
has.
were you thinking about it when you said
because there are times
that?
there's a certain period of time in the night that you like to sleep. You don't
I
sleep as
have
much. This the 3 o'clock time Vinay normally likes to sleep because I try
no,
to wake
no,
up.
but proof is there. Vinay and me were constantly talking through the India games and everything.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
I know he was awake
someone else dozed off.
for a short period of time and then got up again.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I know, man. I don't know why Punter was sleeping, but yeah, listen, bro. But what are we talking about? Yeah, man. You freaking distract me. I needed to come to you because you're the spinner in the thing. Make it short. I don't want a 1 hour lecture. Okay. You're Kane Williamson. Chachu is going at it. Shadab is to come. They have Shan Masood there as well, rotating the strike. You have the spinners now, Satner and
Sodi.
Sodi.
So the
Please set the field and tell me the lines and lengths to bowl and make it very short, Vinay.
I think it's going to be outside off stump, and let them hit. Let them try to go for the slug, toss it up in the air, and go for the catches. Plain
Go
and
for the
simple.
yeah, and that's a very good shout because in Sydney you see like you get reward for flighting it. It
Yeah.
is a bit of it's a biggish ground, right, Vinay? So you will get those catches.
MCG Sydney.
It's not as big as Melbourne, but it's not short also, so you can easily get
The
tempted to
square is bigger than
easily.
Adelaide. Adelaide is shorter square, so I
Adelaide
think the
shorter.
Yes.
square you can use.
Yeah.
That's a good shout.
Square is about 70 to 73 meters, but I think in Adelaide it is about 65, 70 meters.
Yeah. Don, how much time do I have with you?
Let's go, bro. I'm down. Let's go.
No, I don't
He
want
he
to.
just put down his papers and he just came here. So
Ready. Full
let's
full
I
go.
don't.
time.
But yeah, so Don, put your Babar Azam cap on. Okay, and now I'm gonna switch it a bit. I'm not gonna ask you about the new ball. I'm gonna ask you about the old ball. You
Death
have
over.
30 to defend of 35 to defend of 18. What do you do? Who do you give the ball to? What field do you set? And Pakistan have been in this position last year, semis where Matthew Wade did it, and then Virat Kohli in this tournament itself. So what do you do?
Rough, Shaheen, rough, wide outside off stump, yorker it as much as you possibly can. It's the hardest ball to bowl. It's the hardest ball to
Yes.
get away.
Anna's at the crease, 60 not out. He's batting there with Glenn Phillips, who's 30 of 12. Give the
30.
ball to Shadab and Nawaz. What do you do, Vinay? Set the field and tell me the line and length.
You just hope and pray once they're in that kind of form that
But
you don't
Shadab
get
is in
hit.
that form also. So
No,
Shadab.
Shadab is fine. Shadab over is fine. What about the other over? That's where I'm more worried about.
maybe,
So,
maybe, maybe like what Ryan mentioned, give the ball to Chachu.
I was just gonna say that literally because
yeah,
last
give
game
the
the
ball to
Chachu bowled
Chachu.
well. Yeah, Chachu bowled well last
Yeah,
game.
you know what? No, in that one, in that thing, I would do what's Vinay said similar. Like I would toss the ball up and then bowl a couple of quicker ones just to test them out and try to get turn. If you can extract a bit
It's
of turn, then it will be difficult. But Williamson has this shot over cover, bro. So that's where I'm giving him. That's why I feel he's the key player because he can hit against the spin. I
he's
mean,
my
with the spin
fantasy
as well.
pick. Don't steal him away from me.
He's all my fantasy player as well. Glenn Phillips against Randy Orton. Remember this?
Randy Orton.
अरे ग्लेन फिलिप्स आया था नहीं वो जॉन सीना के you
Oh,
can't see
music,
me or
music,
he
me.
came that's Glenn Phillips entry
No,
song.
that is fine. But who's Randy Orton?
I think he made a
Randy Orton is
mistake.
wrestler. He has the RKO finisher in it. So yeah, you keep distracting everyone, bro. If New Zealand bat first, they will win. Babu Bakar, I think if Pakistan also bat first, they win. So whoever wins the toss, that's what I think. I can be
No,
completely wrong.
I think the toss will be important. I think pressure
It will be
situations
important, but Don, you did mention that that is a fresh pitch. So if it's a fresh pitch, then batting second couldn't be that much of an
that
issue.
bad. But I think pressure is becoming a problem in this World Cup now. I think big
See,
stage, big
there's no
thing.
due. There's no due in these rounds at this point, right? So it's not going to be that difficult in terms of a bowling unit at that point. So I think batting first is what the theme has been, at least in Sydney, and that's what they're gonna go with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vinay is human cricket face. Vinay has cricket phone right next to him all the time. Yeah, I mean that was really good from both of you. It's not easy. I asked you on the spot. There's no preparation and very good answers. I feel,
But
but let's see what
but
happens.
I would second what I won't second actually. I would criticize what Don said about his bowling lineup. I would bowl Naseem, sorry Shaheen, Naseem, and then Haris Rauf. Or actually Shaheen, Haris Rauf, Naseem.
अलग
Naseem
अलग
last
चेंज
over.
करते जा रहे थे विनय यारो एक ठीक है I
I
know
would
what
do
it
that. I would do that because I think Naseem is very underrated in terms of a death bowling, and he's much better bowling form in this tournament at least over Shaheen Shah Afridi, especially in the death overs.
good shout.
But
Yeah,
bro, Shaheen, I think his started off slowly, but I think he's got himself back into that kind of form after that last game,
you
especially
you
going four
you could
wickets.
you could also bowl Shaheen 3 overs in the power play, and then
Or you can bring in Nawaz for the last over. You can always do that too.
Vinay Rockies Fergus for the match. जल्दी बोलो जल्दी जल्दी.
He's gonna pick 2 wickets.
अच्छा फिगर बोला यार 2 विकेट्स कितने रन.
Figure
चार
30 के
ओवर
आसपास.
हाँ
4 over 30 के आसपास 2 wicket.
2 विकेट ठीक है. ओके विनय अगर सही है तो विनय स्क्रीनशॉट है तो मेरे को भेज दो. I'll put it as my display picture on Instagram. मेरे को अगर if
yeah.
you get it right. But yeah, I think that wraps up this section. Very good analysis over here. We've done the fantasy picks. We've done the captain's corner. Now it's about Vinay's favorite round. It's basically 3 men
Fresh off
gossiping
the
fresh off
press.
the press. So I got news from one of my reporters, Vinay, that Rohit Sharma got hit in the nets, and then I got Don saying that he's okay now. He gave a thumbs up on sports, Yari. They posted it. They took a thing. And remember, yesterday Manoj did come from Sports Diary. They have two reporters there right now. They sent a video of Rohit Sharma putting a thumbs up there. So Rohit Sharma looks good to go. He did come. I just wanted to add to that because I did some more research after you guys sent that, and he came back to bat after, and he hit some good shots. And apparently he looked better. He was playing more kadak shots, and maybe it was just like that shock therapy that you needed. Yeah. So that's one news that I had. And Vinay, is there some news you want to talk about? Before that, thoughts on Grace Hayden? Abu Bakr is asking.
Who's Grace Hayden?
Matthew Hayden's daughter. Don't act like you don't know, bro.
I didn't know. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know.
You already know my thoughts, Abu Bakr. Like, you already know my thoughts.
Those thoughts are not PG-13. We will talk about it offline.
No, I think she's Don. I
let's
already
move
sent
on.
you. I sent you this, right? Like I sent you. She was there at the games.
Yeah. But let's move on from that discussion. I
She
think
interviewed her dad. I think, right? Matthew Hayden. She interviewed her dad.
is she over there as a journalist, or she's just chilling over there? Like,
Well, that's a good question, Don. But she's there. I think she does interview. I saw her interview her dad once. So yeah. That's on Grace Hayden. If she's an interviewer, all the best to her, and hopefully we get to see her in more matches, covering more games. Yes, Vinay, bolo.
Stop hiding your smile after you said that statement.
What statement?
The statement you just made about Grace Hayden. Stop hiding your smile. Travis Head returns to Australian ODI squad at least. So
Vinay, match
that's good. That's the press of press, man. What can I do?
World Cup. Let's stick to the World Cup.
World Cup, there's nothing else fresh of press. Everything is the same old. Babar is still struggling, and Rizwan and Babar are still not scoring runs.
ICC did put a post of Babar in the nets. He was looking good.
That they post every game. They post every interview also. Babar does also, and they post every media release also.
I'll tell you something.
He says the same. He rehearses the same statement. He does the same statement every single game, and then he plays the same way every single game as well. So there's no change. There's nothing fresh of press. Everything is the same.
Well, there is news. There is the Indian team went for a dinner today to an Indian restaurant. It was called Raj something. But yeah, they went over there. Virat Kohli was escorted back into the bus with the bodyguards. There's a lot of fans because as soon as they found out where they're going, they followed them. They're bonding together. Went for a nice meal. So that's a bit of news over there. Another news.
So they didn't get cold sandwiches this time.
Ash was interviewed a couple of days back, and he said the camaraderie
Ash
in the
was
team is
sniffing
extremely.
I
don't know what is that. That is something that's going on a little crazy. He smelled both the sweaters and decided the right one was better. Threw the left one, started walking with it. So it's funny. But I think he said a lot of that credit has to go to Rohit and Rahul Bhai. So my boy Rahul Bhai is setting the stage. The other news of fresh off the press is also the fact that Rohit, Virat, and Rahul Dravid gave up their business class tickets for the Pacers to relax and go on the
Is
flight.
that true?
So it's been reported by Times of India. So I hope it's true. But
they gave their business class seat so that they can get the extra legroom.
So nice.
And I will also give another bit of news that Ben Stokes, he came in front of the media today, and they asked him about David Milan, and he said he doesn't know. I don't think he's going to play because from Ben Stokes' comments, it just looks like they're not sure what's happening with him. He doesn't look. He's probably not fit. That's why he said that. And another thing, they asked him about Surya Kumar Yadav, and he said the guy's just like incredible the way he's batting, and. Looking forward to the game. Also, from the reporters over there, I saw on multiple channels, they did say that the England team is looking really solid in the nets. The likes of Livingston, Stokes, Butler, all these guys got good hits, and there was like cracking sounds coming off their bats, and people were really impressed with the way they batted in the nets. So yeah, that's the thing. Babu Bakr has a question. Okay, I have a question. Why is Pakistan's current team labeled as favorites more often than the teams of the past, considering the players were better in previous years?
Momentum.
We can have a crack at this. Bolo.
One word, momentum.
Vinay, bolo.
I think it's the team combination. Better batsmen and better all-rounders and better bowlers.
मैं सीधा सीधा बोलता हूँ, I didn't consider them favorites in this World Cup. I thought they were favorites in the Dubai World Cup. Before the Dubai World Cup, I did mention that they will play the final and they will win the World Cup. That's what I thought. They lost in the semis.
Yeah.
But in these conditions, I did not consider them favorites
It's
because I
not
felt
about
that
being the favorites. It's about the team combination that they have in this current
the
World Cup
question is
compared to
about
the
why
other
they
World
make them as
Cups.
favorites. So that has to be about the favorites.
Yeah,
The question,
the
what is the question?
favorites among the rest of the World Cups, the team combination that they have, this team combination is much favorable than any of the
I
team
don't know about
combinations that
favorites.
went into the previous
Favorite.
World Cups.
If
Yeah,
this
that's what
team
I'm saying.
had if this
Huh.
team had Shoaib Malik, they'd win the World Cup.
Yeah.
I'll tell you something. So if you're looking at this question, let's dissect it. Okay, why is Pakistan's current team labeled as favorites more often than the teams of the past? Look, do you think the favorites Abu Bakr, like, have you seen, like, from the start of the World Cup? I think he's also comparing to Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus thing. But then Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus were also against Magra, Shane Warne, and things. So you have to look at contemporary. If you look at contemporary, Pakistan are there top five, I would say, in T20s for sure, and their record speaks for themselves. This is
I
like
think
what, the 6-7 time they've reached the semifinals, bro. I think only 2 years they didn't make the semifinals.
I think as a bowling unit, I think that they're up there. I think the only other competition for the bowling unit that they have was South Africa, who's out of the tournament now. I think so. I think amongst the four that are in this semifinals right now, I think Pakistan has the most lethal bowling attack.
Yeah,
And comparing to contemporaries, we can't compare them to the Wakar and the Veer
you have to
and
look at it
Wasims and
contemporaries. I think
stuff.
that's
Yeah.
what he's saying, that they're not. He has a very valid point that the team of the past were way stronger in terms of batting, bowling, everything. But now the opposition they're playing is also not that level, right? You don't have like a Magra Warren type. So if you look at it now, if you look at India's bowling lineup and Pakistan's bowling lineup without Bumrah and Jadeja, Pakistan's is much heavier. It's stronger. It's a stronger bowling. That's why they took India that close in that game, because they do have the bowling, right? Whereas India, they are missing some key players and. So yeah, I mean, generally they are giving better chance of winning a game than previous teams. Honestly, when I was growing up, that Pakistan team was given a chance in every tournament. Like, 99 they did reach the finals. 2003 they had a poor tournament. 2007 they had a poor tournament. Then they came back in 2011. They've always done well in ICC tournaments. There's been some bad losses, but along the way in knockout times, I think what Don mentioned, momentum, they always have that, and that also comes through a bowling attack which is always lethal and 140 plus, because it puts pressure in knockout games on opposition teams.
Yeah, I agree.
बहुत बोल दिया शायद मैं, विनय बोर हो जा रहा.
Very
Thank you.
well analyzed.
Yeah, we have 10 minutes left. Vinay and Don, you can keep asking me questions.
Let me think.
Because I've done all the questioning, bro. I'm done with my questions.
What are your thoughts on Nawaz not getting to bowl as much after the Virat Kohli situation?
I think it's been a trend also in other teams. Akshar Patel also has not been given the ball that much after the Chachu situation. So like it happens when a player gets hit. And I think also left arm spinners, Sander has done well, but he's been an anomaly. But in general, that matchup thing, teams are afraid and they've also gotten hit. I don't think in subcontinent pitches, there's more turn on offer, so it's a bit harder to play those orthodox left arm faster spinners, or what do you call slow left arm spinners. But in these conditions, I think the ball comes on a bit more, it skids on, and you can really hit them. So maybe that's why I won't look in too much into it. But if there is a two batsmen, right hand batsman at the crease, I think Nawaz will be throwing the ball. Vinay, ask me a question.
Question for you. Would
Vinay
be
really wanted to answer that question. Bolo.
sorry.
You wanted to answer that question, but yeah.
No, I want to ask you this part. Like, why you're talking about like favorites among teams and stuff? If in the current India lineup, if you said India was favorite, what changes would you have made in the current team to make India the favorites in the tournament?
I would get Bumrah in. That's one thing.
For
Sorry?
Bumrah in
For
for
who?
who?
Either any of the fast bowlers. Maybe Bhuvi or Shami or Ajdeep. I would get Bumrah in because Bumrah gives me the death overs.
But Bumrah for who? Like, pick one to make India the favorite team.
Jaddu
Okay,
for
let's say
Aksar.
Bumrah for Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Jaddu for Aksar.
And then I would get Jadeja for Akshar Patel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's what I would do.
I'd get Rohit Sharma out and Shubman Gill in.
Big call, man. No, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, that's what I would do. Look, Bumrah. Look, Vinay, I'll tell you very honestly. I know what you're asking.
If
I
you're
would take
saying
Bumrah.
if there was Bumrah and Ravindra Jadeja, India would have been favorites
Yes.
for the
Uh,
tournament.
I think they would be one of the yeah, they would have a better chance of winning. Yeah, it still
No,
would be
but
tough
would you
against
call
India.
them the favorites for the tournament?
I'll tell you
Then?
something. I would say they would
Yes.
have a better chance than Pakistan right now. I think out of the four, India has the least chance on paper to win the tournament
And
because of their
that's why
bowling.
India is
That's the
going
only
to
reason.
win because Musti's saying all these
Yeah, that
bad
doesn't mean
comments.
they're not going to win. When they don't like get emotional. I'm just saying, if I have Bumrah in my team, he's 140
That's
plus.
it. I'm signing off. See you guys later.
Vinay, you still have to ask me for a few more questions. But listen, that's what I'm saying. If Bumrah is there, it doesn't matter for who. Even if you take out Shami, Arshdeep, anybody, Bumrah is the game changer for me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
But that doesn't mean
but
you won the World Cup with freaking Srishant, Joginder Sharma, RP Singh. So I'm not saying that India
analysis
doesn't have a chance. Yeah.
analysis सब कर सकते हैं, but Vinay calls me Panoti, and I've already called England and New Zealand final. So the opposite will happen now. So don't
Done
worry.
5 minutes.
And I and
5
I and
minutes.
I expect if an India Pakistan final happens, I expect Pakistan to win.
Yeah. Babar told Nawaz to mera match winner hai after that final over. The best thing in that video, he said, no, किसी के पे blame नहीं करना. No one takes the president. Nawaz especially to that. When you see that video, it's like, he's trying to not point him out, but he's pointing him out. It was a very funny video. But
Yeah.
Controversial.
yeah. Yeah. Vinay, ask another question. Jaldi, jaldi, Vinay.
फाइनल में कोई मुंबई से वापस फ्लाइट लेने वाला है मेलबर्न के लिए?
Controversial question पूछ लिया ने.
Yeah, बहुत लोग आ रहे हैं. Ravi Shastri, Sunil Gavaskar, Jatin Sapru.
डॉन अभी
He
बस
means
किसी का नाम लिया.
he means specifically someone.
अच्छा
Will
उल्टा
someone
वहां से मुंबई टू सिडनी ही सिंह
मुंबई टू
Mumbai to
मेलबर्न.
Sydney, Mumbai to
yeah
Melbourne
मुंबई
yeah
टू
quota.
मेलबर्न में.
Shahrukh
मुंबई
Khan,
टू
I think
मेलबर्न.
he was right because he was there in Om Shanti Om Shah 2007 T20 World Cup final, India versus Pakistan in Johannesburg. I'm not he was there, right? So Shahrukh Khan will take that flight. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna give the answer that he wants.
Let's move
I
on.
think
Urvashi
I
Let's
think we know.
Rotella. He wants to see
let's move
Urvashi.
on. Don understood my expression.
I
He
know
knows what
you
I'm
want to
talking
see
about.
Urvashi. She's not coming, bro. एक बार फ्लाइट हो गया बार बार ऑस्ट्रेलिया में सस्ता है क्या तुम दे रहे टिकट तुम ये तुमने
she's
चला आती
भैया, but Naseem Shah might be playing also the finals, no?
यार ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाना मजाक नहीं है.
Don understands. You don't. So let's
What do
move
you
on.
want? But did I answer this question? No, she's not going to go because she already went to Australia. बार बार ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाना मजाक नहीं है. Very expensive. I was looking at the tickets
yeah.
and
We were both looking and we took light.
yeah, last few minutes. Again, we'll talk more about India England tomorrow. So make sure you like and subscribe. We will discuss the Pakistan game for sure, and then we'll discuss India England. But Don, any last thoughts that you have? Anything that you wanted to discuss or talk about or even ask?
No, I'm just going to count on Abu Bakr to give me a call, bro. Please, yaad se, okay?
Yeah, give a call. It's going to be a cracker tomorrow. Don, you have New Zealand winning. Am I right?
Yes.
And Vinay, you have Pakistan winning. Am I right?
Yes.
May the best team win. Make sure you guys enjoy the game as well. It's going to be a cracker. If Pakistan do win, a lot of Indian fans will be under pressure. I think they will be a bit restless. They will want to be eager to, make it to the finals. But let's see what happens. Hoping for a cracker tomorrow and then a cracker on Thursday. Back-to-back quality games. 4 amazing teams. So make sure you guys watch the games and then join us after the matches. Thank you, Don. Thank you, Vinay. It was a pleasure. Really enjoyed the chat, and we will catch you tomorrow, guys. Good night. Over and out.